I don't care how much money you make, you're not in charge of your life if you got to meet with somebody that you don't like. You're just not in charge. If you make $10 million a year or $1 million a year and you got to meet with people and be around people that you don't like, you are not in charge of your life and you are not rich. You're just not. You're not rich at all. You're very, very poor and you're dependent on those people more than you think. When people are like, oh, you got to meet with this person or whatever, like, you know, you're not obligated to meet with anyone, you know, and depending on what your goals are in life, like my biggest goal in life was like, you know, like I never became an entrepreneur just because I wanted to make a bunch of money. That was never my thing. That was never my thing. I would cut grass and be a happy Vick Tipnes, cutting grass. All I wanted was I didn't want anybody to tell me what to do. That was it. I didn't want anybody to tell me what to do. Leave me alone, let me do my thing, and I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. And that was my thing. It wasn't like, oh, I want to make $1 million a year or $10 million a year, and I want to fly in a private jet, and I want to have blah, 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 blah. That was always like secondary or third or fourth on the list, to be honest. Like the first one was just I wanted freedom, and I wanted the ability to be like, somebody said, oh, you have to meet with this person, and I'm like, no. I don't want to. And I think there's a lot of power in that. So for me, that's my thing. So I'm like, okay, do I really need to meet with this person? Like, what's the point, right? And if there's no point, then I just don't do it. I just don't care. Because there's some people you don't want to meet. You don't want to meet with them because they're just bad energy. And if you get yourself to a position in life where you're not, I don't care how much money you make, you're not in charge of your life if you got to meet with somebody that you don't like. You're just not in charge. If you make $10 million a year or $1 million a year and you got to meet with people and be around people that you don't like, you are not in charge of your life and you are not rich. You're just not. You're not rich at all. You're very, very poor and you're dependent on those people more than you think. I didn't want to be that guy. Like, I wanted to be the guy that was able to meet or not meet with whoever, you know? Like, I don't care if you're president of some country and you call me up. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna meet with you. Unless there's something in it for me. So if you're president of a country and you wanna meet with me, hey, give me a ring. But it would have to be an exchange. Like, it wouldn't be something that I'm like, oh, I have to do, you know? Yeah, nobody's entitled to nothing. Like, I'm not entitled to anything. Like, everything I have, I had to work for. So I don't feel entitled that somebody's gotta hang out with me because, you know, I'm entitled to their time. I'm not entitled to anybody's time. I'm not entitled to anybody that, you know, nobody owes me anything and I don't owe anybody anything. This entitlement thing is really kind of this new age culture where people think that they're super entitled because they know a friend that knows you or something silly like that, where it's just like, oh, like you're entitled, or the person's been grinding for 6 months. And now they're at your level. And the funny thing is, you know, you'll get people that were like, oh yeah, I was once at your level. Bro, I wouldn't be telling people that. I wouldn't be telling people that. Especially if you're not there now. I wouldn't be bragging about that. But yeah, there's no entitlement. Get yourself in a position where you're valuable. It's the number one thing, because anybody that is up at this level, they want value. That's why people buy Rolls Royces. Like, you make a lot of money, what do you want? You want the best value that you can afford, right? That money can buy, not even what you can afford, that money can buy. The best value money can buy. So that same philosophy applies to relationships. You want the best value that your money and time can provide. So if you're a new entrepreneur and you're trying to surround yourself with established entrepreneurs that have made it to a level that you think are successful, then you have to come at it with an approach of, okay, where can I bring value? And if you can't, you can't, and it's okay. Like I worked and grinded for 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 6 years before I felt that I was bringing value to anybody. That's a long time. I mean, you see a lot of these actors and actresses and singers and artists, and they've been grinding for 10, 15, 20 years. and you'll be grinding for 15 years, and then you start to pop, right? Like a lot of these artists, man, it's 15, 20 years of grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding to the point where it's like, okay, now you're adding value. I think unless it's symbiotic, unless the other person also wants some value from you, then it's gonna be tough, you know? Because I'm not interested in just spending my time giving away value for free all the time. You know, like I'm doing this because I feel like it's gonna help a lot of people. At least to be able to structurally think about, how do I increase my circle, right? How can I get better contacts, and what do I need to do? So that's what this video is about, right? It's like, okay, what do I need to do? So the first thing, you need to add value. But if all you want is to get from somebody else and you can't give something back, that person is not gonna wanna meet with you. They're just not. There's gonna have to be some symbiotic flow to make that happen, right? Or you can pay for it. I tell people all the time, like, okay, you want an hour of my time? It's 30 grand. Hour of my time. Because I know for an hour, if you're running a business, I can 100x your business. There's no question. I've done it. I've grown 55% over the last 8 years. Name me a lot of people that have done that. They haven't done that. So not 6%, like 55%. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, in 1 hour, I can understand your business and help you change your trajectory of your business and go from maybe 2 million to 10 million, like that, like in a year. So 30 grand is cheap. The other thing is, what I've always focused on too is, you know, there's a saying, it was actually out of the Jerry Maguire movie.
Unless you love everybody, you can't sell anybody.
That's very powerful. And a lot of people don't think with that. They think, oh, I want to sell this person, but you can't sell anyone until you sell everyone, right? So that means that you got to be able to sell the people around the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. And that is key. If you can't get the people around that person to like you, because every person that is doing something, they have a team of people around them, right? If they don't have a team of people around them, they're probably not as successful. But anybody that's successful has a team of people around them. That team of people, their job is to protect the king, right? They're like the knights. So their job is to protect the king. So if you can't get the knights to like you, you sure as hell ain't gonna get the king to like you. He won't even know about you. He will walk right by you. Because the knights have got to get buy-in, and every company is set up that way, every successful person is set up that way. So what I've always done is I've always gotten the knights to like me. I've always made sure that I provided some value, and I was nice and I was cordial to the knights around the king. Not from a fake perspective, but from an authentic perspective, like, okay, if I want to be friends or I want to get a better relationship with this person, the only way that's gonna happen is if I genuinely try to develop some sort of a relationship with the people around that person. And if you can't do that and you're pissing off the people around them, including the assistant, including the chief of staff, everybody, the whole team, you're not gonna get anywhere because they're gonna shut you down. Like,
they have power.
Yeah, they have a lot of power. They have more power than you think because they're the trusted confidants around the king, right? In any organization. So if you can't get the knights to like you and to essentially endorse you, it's like getting into the mafia. You don't become Cosa Nostra, you don't become a made guy until the people around the king say, hey, this is the guy.
The key to this business is personal relationships.